The seriously wounded draconic fighters yield, and the brutal battle in the fighting pit is over. The crowd showers my companions and me with their cheers, now calling my name while clapping for me and jeering at the losers. Dazed but elated, I leave the balcony and am congratulated by the Rudies. She also tells me that I can have my companion's wounds treated by a renowned medicos, although I would have to pay for his services. Given the circumstances, I pay for his services without hesitation. There is feasting again this evening, but I make sure not to overdo anything, knowing that tomorrow my companions must face the team of Gracchus Vastator in the finals. The veteran gladiator is there as well, and to his credit, he congratulates me on my victory, then speaks to me briefly and very diplomatically. I also make sure to talk to every editor this time, although these conversations are much less intriguing than the day before, since none of them wishes to show inappropriate support before the finals. When it is all over, I return to my quarters, bone-tired. Yet my mind still races with thoughts about the upcoming bout. The day is a long one, as most of the time there is nothing to do. My companions could train, but it would only exhaust them, which is not a great idea before the final fight. Hours crawl by at a snail's pace, until finally the Rudies appears and asks me to accompany her. She takes me to a quiet room nearby, where a pitcher of wine awaits, along with a few earthenware cups and some cheese on a table.
Just some compliments from the guild, Vagrus. Please sit. I need to talk to you.
She indicates one of the chairs and closes the door. I indulge her and wait for her to speak.
I am sure you are aware that a lot of betting goes on during these tournaments. You see, I brought you here to give you a message from one of our benefactors. You've become something of a black horse in this tournament, Vagrus. Many now believe that you will be crowned victor, so a lot of them are betting on you. Our benefactor was considering asking you to throw the finals. Before you say anything, know that you would receive a serious share of the winnings. Think silver. Lots of it. So think about it. My advice? Take this opportunity. But I can't make you, of course. You should do what you think is right for you.
She rises from the chair and opens the door.
I'll leave you now to think and prepare. If you decide to take the offer, you know what you have to do.
With that, she leaves me with the wine and my thoughts.
Bunch of bastards.
Calm down, Gorgoro.
Calm down? They want us to lose, to cheat. Where's the honor in that?
Honor can go to hell when the money flows like a river.
Was that a threat, Vagrus?
Not really.
Prince Laekor would not tolerate threats being made against people he values and who are useful to him.
What do you want us to do, Vagrus?
I paced back and forth in the room, before looking at them one by one. You have proven your worth more than once, and most of you have saved my life. I have helped you all in return, and will continue to do so in the future. Gorgoro wishes to set foot in the Arena Maximus again. It is not by losing for money that we will achieve that goal. So crush them. The day draws on until finally the evening arrives and the time of the final round is at hand. Standing on the Lannister's balcony, I watch as the crowd, now grown to fill the entire Colosseum, gives a standing ovation to the gladiators and my companions. Gracchus Vastator salutes me and takes his place in their formation. Time slows to a crawl as my gaze wanders to the tribune, who raises his hand and gives the signal. As the crowd roared in frenzy, I witnessed the efficiency of those gladiators. The pilum struck Gorgoro, while Harvek aimed skillfully between the Murmillo's armor plates. The latter remained cautious, and Gorgoro's sweeping attack proved ineffective, yet it allowed Renkailon to hurl two well-aimed throwing weapons. Finderath took advantage of their armor to amplify her magic, causing her opponent's muscles to tense. After closely observing the previous fights, the diversion planned by Harvek backfired, concealing the pilum thrown by Veles toward Renkelon. But Renkelon managed to neutralize one of the gladiators just in time with a swift sword strike. Gorgoro charged the weakest of the three, cleaving him with a powerful axe blow and drawing the other's attention. One knee on the ground, Veles couldn't dodge the electric blast unleashed by Finderath, who noticed the second gladiator's pilum too late. It sliced into one of her wings. Outnumbered, their attacks, spells, and maneuvers quickly neutralized the third gladiator, leaving only Gracchus Vastator. As experienced and resilient as he is, the veteran cannot dodge or deflect all of my companion's attacks. It was while locked in a clash with Gorgoro and Harvek that he failed to see the lightning bolt Finderath hurled at his back. It is over, and my companions stand victorious over the veteran gladiators of Gracchus Vastator. The audience, the editors, and their guests all cheer for me and my fighters as the agitators proclaim us champions of the Arena of Echoes, and the Rudies joins me on the balcony.
It is time to speak Vagrus and to dedicate this great victory to someone or something.
I raise my hand into the air, and after a few moments, the cheering subsides as everyone waits to hear my words. I cast a glance at the individual who helped me and with whom I wish to forge closer ties for the future. Then, I turn my gaze to the crowd. I announce that I wish to dedicate this victory to the Honorable Prince Laekor. The crowd expresses its approval with a round of applause, although many in the audience merely exchange looks. The Dark Elf Prince himself looks a bit surprised, but quickly rises and nods in satisfaction. His gratitude becomes even more apparent when he draws me aside during the following feast and thanks me for thinking of his wayward people.
I must admit that I did not expect you to go out of your way for my people, Vagrus. We are tolerated in the city, sire, but not beloved by any stretch of the imagination. Our exile to this place has taken a great toll on us, but by giving us this honor, you have called attention to us, and perhaps that will bring greater acceptance. I am indeed in your debt, and I shall not forget this kindness. So, come see me tomorrow. We will discuss things more calmly.
I won't miss it, Prince Laekor. It will be my pleasure.
I do hope so, Vagrus. I truly do.
The feasting and celebrations lasted the rest of the day and night, and I do not recall what time or in what state I ended up in bed. My companions and I packed all our belongings late in the morning, and the Rudies escorted us out of the Arena of Echoes. She bid us farewell at the Colosseum's gate, while her assistant handed me my champion's prize.
It was an honor to serve you, Vagrus. How unfortunate that, after being crowned champions, your fighters will not be asked to compete here again anytime soon. The people of this town are used to diversity in these matters, I'm afraid. Yet you could return as a spectator anytime you wish. May Irophons keep you in your journeys, and Mercatus watch over your coins.
After receiving a few congratulations from people who recognized us around the Arena of Echoes, we made our way toward Prince Laekor's court. It was there that I learned, thanks to the Major Domo, that their people were in need of good quality tools. Prince Laekor beckons me closer, and so I join him beside his black wooden throne.
It appears that you might possess the means to aid us in a matter of utmost importance, Vagrus. We cannot say more before you pledge yourself to the task, except that it involves travel and battle. So we suggest you weigh your preparedness with this one before making hasty decisions. Of course, once the task is completed, you shall be rewarded handsomely.
I am listening.
Very well, hearken then, Vagrus. We shall tell you what needs to be done and why.
I can see Laekor's hand curl into a fist as he speaks.
Perhaps you are aware that our current predicament is in part due to our less than fortunate altercation with the Varuk dynasty, my family's ancient enemies. A generation ago, my father came close to ridding the world of the despicable Varukai, but incurred the wrath of Jar's ancient prince and thus soon lost everything. What you see here is what remains of my people after their humiliating exodus from that accursed city in the depths of Everdark.
The prince snaps his lithe fingers, and one of the naked slave girls brings him wine in a silver cup. Laekor gulps the blood-red beverage down hastily before going on.
But enough reminiscing. Our war is not over. We swore an oath on my late father's honor. It so happens that, now unthreatened by us, the Varukai are starting to get bold, raiding the surface more often and spreading their influence. Just recently, we learned about one of their key sites, a gateway into Everdark that they use to slip into the northwestern jagged waste and prey on travelers and settlements alike. We currently don't have the means to attack the site. Go there in our name, ambush their garrison, and collapse the main tunnel. That should set them back for a good while.
It will be done as soon as possible. The Major Domo instructs me to look for the Varukai site in the hills between Stonethorn and Sunrock.
You'll need a larger fighting force, Vagrus. Our few men alone won't be enough to overcome a Varukai garrison.
I agree with him.
What do you suggest?
Recruit as many fighters as possible. After all, they know why they're joining.
Following their advice, I took on several contracts bound for Sunrock, hoping to recruit more mercenaries there, in addition to those from Devon. I don't skimp on pay, but I make it clear to the mercenaries that they face a high risk of death.
Tell me, Vagrus, are you seriously going to side with all those lesser races crawling through the Empire?
I need to have several contacts on my roster. I see Garrik lower his voice as we pass another Comitatus member, whom I greet with a nod.
The problem is that it's dangerous.
No more dangerous than you, who do business with all the filth and misery of the slums, Garrik.
Completely different.
Oh, really? The only difference is that I make myself available and known to everyone. That doesn't make me a traitor to the Empire, Garrik. I merely offer my services to influential people, which brings me a tidy sum of money. Money that, in the end, will increase your cut of the spoils. But if anyone ever puts me in a situation that costs me my comitatus, then they'll have to do without my services. Don't mistake me for a weak, naive man, Garrik.
Noted, Vagrus.
Gorgoro, Harvek, I'm putting you in charge of the new mercenaries. Renkailon, lead the way. You have the most experience against the Varukai.
At your command.
My scouts finally managed to locate the cave entrance among the jagged hills, which could only be the way to the Varukai Garrison I was looking for, the one guarding a tunnel leading into Everdark. I have to give it to the Dark Elves. The site was very well hidden, and my companions only stumbled upon it because the marauders were sloppy. They had left some tracks nearby that led to the tunnel. Finderath, can you create an illusion that will allow us to set up an ambush?
I can, but it will take some time.
I place the comitatus far away, hide my fighters and most of my companions among the hills ready to strike, and then have my sorcerer conjure up noises and phantasms so that the Varukai stick their heads out to check what happened. I hope that they will think not only that an unarmed comitatus came close to their hideout, but that it is worth raiding. Luckily, The magic makes this fairly safe and very convincing. It works. The Varukai, risking even the direct sunlight that dark elves hate so much, pour out of their fortified tunnels in the hope of raiding and looting unsuspecting prey. Their cruel glee soon turns to dread as I signal my fighters and quickly surround the soldiers out in the open. Still, the well-armed and meticulously trained Varukai close ranks in a shield wall and prepare to face us. The Varukai emerge from their lair in groups, only to realize they are surrounded on all sides by my men. My men have strict orders to avoid unnecessary losses and to hold the defensive, exploiting our advantage in numbers and surprise. I order my companions not to take part in the fighting and to let the mercenaries I hired do their job. The charge is brutal. I see many Varukai fall within the first seconds. Perfect. I let the remaining elves flee into the desert. The desert will take care of them. We break the main force of the Varukai and drive the survivors back into the tunnels. But by then, they have lost the appetite for a prolonged battle. The garrison is defeated. The Varukai, who did not fall to the advance of my companions, were routed by my other companions. Some managed to flee into the depths of the cave system, so I know there is no time to waste. I have to collapse the tunnel before a larger force arrives. Yet a quick look around the abandoned subterranean garrison reveals that the Varukai have left some interesting things behind in their dark halls. The Varukai captain's quarters are at the top of a long spiral staircase, and I am shocked to see that small windows carved into the rock wall look out over the jagged landscape. The room must be near the top of a high cliff above the caves. I find all kinds of treasures here: fine weapons, valuables, coins, even some arcane-looking texts on scrolls. It is a fairly daunting task to make an inventory of everything here, so I just try to grab anything valuable I can immediately find. Unfortunately, this is still enough time for dark elven reinforcements to arrive and press into the garrison tunnels. Agile as they may be, the elves couldn't avoid Gorgoro's charge. As the Varukai struck the orc, Garrik shot him in the head, killing him instantly. Accustomed to their fighting style, Renkailon knows exactly where to strike, while Gorgoro is wounded once more. Findarath caught our foes off guard again as lightning crashed down, and Renkailon's knives followed. Still weakened from the arena fight, Gorgoro took another saber blow before finally killing one of them. Seeing his companion covered in blood, Renkailon stepped in and drew the attention of the two remaining Varukai. Thunder rolled through the caves once more, followed by a dreadful pistol blast that struck one of the elves squarely, who, by some miracle, survived. But it was only a matter of time before the lightning felled his elven companion. Seized by desperation, the last Varukai lunged at Renkailon, who fell to the ground. He owed his survival only to Gorgoro, who vaulted over him and shoved the Varukai back. The Varukai was electrocuted, and Garrik fired, killing him instantly. The Varukai reinforcements are dealt with, but I know that more will come, and even if they are defeated, the dark elven forces will not relent until we are dead or have fled. Garrik, collapse the tunnel, now! The dwarf grumbles and throws nasty insults at my companions. He is clearly not in the mood for working. At length, he sets satchel charges onto structurally essential pillars and beams, and then, when everyone is at a safe distance, detonates the explosives with a pistol shot. The quake and clamor seem to scare everyone except Garrik, who grins like a child. a naughty, cruel child. Yet at last, it is done. The Varukai tunnels are collapsed, and the garrison is now buried under tons of solid rock. Even though the Dark Elves might be able to dig another tunnel to the surface, it would take a long time and a lot of work.